All right, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining me tonight, Tuesday night, live stream, little pregame before the junkies go on. So first, I got to say a big thanks to Shawn Perkins for sending tonight's blind flight. It's going to be 6. I have zero idea what in the world is in front of me. I have zero idea. I just poured these things about 15 minutes ago. Let them open up a little bit more. But thanks everybody for joining tonight. So I know we got a good group of people, a lot of the same people I've seen in here a lot. And I'll tell you what, I mean, we all appreciate that. As the whiskey community, there's a lot of us in here that really truly appreciate all of you guys being here, because without all of you being here, I wouldn't want to do this if I was just, talking to nobody. So whoever it is that gets in here, we greatly appreciate everything from everyone. So let me quick go through here a little bit and let's see what we had, who we had in here. I know early on we had a lot of the same guys. Let me go back through here. Sugar Kitty, Hendo, how's it going? Kelsey, DC, my man. Cheech, how's it going, buddy? Actually, you know what? Let's do this right now. Cheech, you become another moderator because you are a king at that. DC, how's it going, buddy? Kelsey, my man, how's it going? Sugar Kitty, thanks for jumping in. Barn Door, Drums and Drams, how's it going, Cam? Appreciate you being in here, buddy. John T, my man. Kilco, Chris, Roy, how's it going? Roy R does thing. I love Roy's name. Tim Garrigus, how's it going? Ellery, Cigar Score, the Bourbon Wrench, the original Bourbon Wrench. Trev, how's it going? Bourbon, how's it going? Perkins, just mentioned Sean. Thanks again for sending all the samples to do the blind. Karen B. Ford, how's it going, Karen? Hope you're doing well. Who else we got? Mike Meyer, how's it going, Mike? Cam Lochner. What else we got here? I think that's it right now. Trevor Kunkel, how's it going, buddy? My man, Daniel Kerber, how's it going? Curbs. Griff, I know you can see right here. Little shout out to you guys, buddy. Appreciate everything. All right, Richie Z, how's it going? Whiskey Samurai. All right, so here we go. So tonight, basically, what I'm going to do is just like a lot of the blinds. Basically, is we'll go through all of these things. We will nose them, taste them, and then I'm going to rank them. Try to figure out the maybe price, proof, maybe distillery, some of that. But I want to at least go through them and rank them, get a little idea as to what some of these things are. So one other thing I wanted to kind of give a little teaser for all the patrons, for both myself and Jason. He and I both dropped a little something in our Patreon pages today that were kind of indicating a little bit about what's to come. So Big Sexy, how's it going, buddy? Good friend, Josh Hilgeman, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. So anyway, the Patreon stuff. So he and I both dropped a little something in there. So only the patrons get a little kind of a little taste of what it is that we've got coming. So I'll say this: if you guys want to get in on what's coming next, either myself or Jason, if you're a patron or want to become a patron, you can. The highest tiers, what we're going to do going forward is for the bottles, because we're only going to have so many of them that we're going to want to be able to release them to the patrons first. And I doubt this next one even gets to the general public. So they'll all probably go to the patrons and all of that. So by becoming a patron, what it does, it gets you kind of those exclusive first rights to the bottles that Jason and I are picking as part of our Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So I would encourage you for what it is that we've got coming. Some of the patrons already know exactly what it is a little bit. So if you want, become a patron, get involved in the community. If nothing else, it gets you into the category first rights for being able to get the bottles that Jason and I are picking. So anyway, so yeah, we've got some really good stuff kind of coming. So hopefully everybody will become kind of a patron of myself or Jason's channel, and we're really excited to get a lot of these things going. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and kind of get into this. So I've got the little blind key right here. So that's all sealed stuff. Shawn put that in. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get going. Oh, yeah. So, Tim, appreciate it. So this is just a little bit of the merch. So I have a link in the description below too. So if anyone sees a link or they want to drop anything in there, feel free to do so. Patreon link, merch, all that other stuff. I kind of wanted to step it up and get things going a little bit more. Some people were kind of asking about it, and I really wanted to just get more stuff out to you guys. You know, I mean, I've kind of embraced the whole, Team Ham Hock, and I love all that stuff. And I thank, DC for everything. So he kind of got it all going, and I opened my big mouth one night and for the 291 stream that I did. And it got me in a little bit of trouble, but I've embraced it. It's kind of fun. And I really appreciate everybody kind of having as much fun with it as really everybody else has. So, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. So, all right, let's not waste any more time. DC, thanks for dropping all that stuff. I appreciate it, buddy. And then, like I said before, with the Patreon stuff for our bottles going forward, we're going to start with the higher tiers first. So there's an incentive that if you're supporting our channels at the higher tiers, you're going to get first crack at those bottles. So anyway, enough with that. If you want to join, feel free to do so. We appreciate all that. The legend, Amy Boehm. How's it going, Amy? Okay. Yeah, I know, DC, the pantyhose too. It was a mess. I really stuck my foot in my mouth that night, or my hock, I should say. So Bourbon Bites. Cliff, how's it going, buddy? Okay. So here's what we'll do. We're going to start with 1 through 6. Hopefully I can make it through these things without being bombed, because I have no idea as to what the proof of any of these things are. So it'll be a really good indication of kind of what some of this stuff was. And like I said, before we went live, I had just poured these things like, 10, 15 minutes before. So what we'll do is we'll go through basically 1 through 6 from this way. So basically as you're looking at it left to right, and it'll give you a good idea of what it is that we're going to taste. So let's go ahead and dive into these. And again, I have no idea. I'm going to take some notes, kind of figure out what it is that they are, and I'll rank them, and we'll kind of go from there. And I'll pay attention a little bit to the chat as much as possible. So, okay, what do we got here? Let's see here. Okay, let's roll with this thing. Edward Fulmer, how's it going, buddy? Ham hock. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, hell, I even DC made up a nice couple of nice images or whatever, and I felt like, well, we got to put one of them on a shirt. So come hang with the hock was what we came up with. And I think Brian's in here, who owns his own like kind of embroidery shop, and he did a really great job of putting the whole website and stuff together. So, all right. Ooh. Yeah, I probably should have had a little something before I started this, but I didn't. So we're going to go off of a fresh palette. So hopefully this one doesn't shock me right away. But so some nice caramels, a little bit of mint on this one too. I'd be inclined to say, and again, I don't know if Shawn mentioned or not, whether or not these are either all bourbons or there's rye and stuff in here. So, if Shawn, if you can, try not to put in there what it is, or, I mean, I want to still be able to pay attention to the chat, but I don't want to see what any of the stuff is at the same time either. So, Adriana, how's it going? Oh man, I don't know. My guess on this one would be that it's a high rye so far. I mean, it's a little bit minty. Nice caramel notes. I'm not getting a lot of heat or anything yet. All right, Brian going to Elijah Craig tonight. A little store pick. Can't go wrong. That's a nice easy one. That would have been a good one for me to start off with, just to kind of get the palate kind of woken up a little bit. But I pulled a rookie move and didn't do anything. I was kind of scrambling at the last minute. So, all right, nice nose on this one. A little bit kind of typical. There's maybe even a little bit of like a smoky, a little bit of a smokiness on there as well. Nice oak on this one. Little more smoke on this than usual. Nice oils on this, so I maybe would guess that there is some like maybe non-chill filtration going up. DC was the first guy to have the Ham Hock t-shirt, so he created it and he was the first one to pull the trigger. So yeah, if you want one, get your hanging with the Hock shirt. Yeah, this is nice. There's some nice vanillas and stuff coming out. So I'll try to go through these things a little bit quicker. I don't want this thing to drag on all night long, but all right, let's try number one. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out tonight. I greatly appreciate it. I love seeing all of you guys and gals and all that. I mean, it makes doing these things an awful lot of fun, being able to, kind of shoot the shit with everybody and just kind of have a fun time. So, all right, cheers, everyone. Oh, that's kind of interesting. There's something very citrusy. There's something that's very, like, right away, my first thought was MGP of some sort. There's a little bit of a citrusy, maybe about like that kind of MGP note. There's like it almost comes across as a high rye to me on this one for some reason. Yeah, there's something that's very almost like even citrusy, like a little bit of like also a green apple. There's like a little bit of like a tanginess on this one, which I sometimes will get with some of the like Buffalo Trace stuff as well, where you get like maybe a like an E.H. Taylor of some sort. There's something on that's giving me a little bit of that citrus note that's there. Oh boy. Yeah, there's like that citrus and maybe like a green apple. And I struggle to put green apple and citrus close to each other because I've had people leave comments on my stuff before that green apple is not a citrus, and I realized that, and I probably needed to take a little bit more of a break between the citrus and the green apple so that people don't freak out and leave me a million comments that a green apple isn't a citrus. And I don't know if people feel compelled sometimes to leave some of the things they do as well. Whatever, anybody who does any reviews or sees things, sometimes it's amazing what you get. But all right, man, there's also like a little bit of I don't know if that's a finishing aspect or not on that, or if there's got some kind of a little bit of a finishing kind of aspect a little bit on that one. All right, well, let's move on. So I've got a little bit of citrus, nice oak on that, some caramel. Yeah, I like that. It'll be interesting to kind of go back through these and see what some of this stuff is. So I got to pay attention to my chat here a little bit so I can see what's going on. Hey Tim, how's it going? Kyoko, Wildlife and Whiskey. Oh, this is a little more of a classic, I'll say bourbon profile. Nice caramel on this one. So this is number 2. Yeah, nice caramel, a little bit of oak. Even a little bit of like a leather note on this one as well. Yes, JG, thank you very much. Apple is not a citrus. Never thought about it. LOL. Yeah, I get it. Like on some of these things, I had one where it was like apple and citrus that I put too close when I was saying them, and now I get it where hey, bro, apple is not a citrus. I'm like, okay, well, thanks. Of everything you watched on the video, the only thing you could do would tell me that an apple is not a citrus, but whatever. All right. Yeah, this is kind of a nice, kind of classic note, nice caramels, like I said. And the good part is when you can kind of go back through some of these things a little bit. Nice oak on this. All right, let's give this one a try. Cheers. That's got a little something different on it. Again, this one's very, there's like some effervescence to it. It's very, again, like very bright. Again, some of those like nice, like kind of caramel notes on this as well. This one for me, this hits like right on the front and mid palate. The finish part of it goes away fairly quickly. There's maybe even a touch of, I want to say, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Yeah, this is a little bit more of just a, I guess I'll say, more of a straightforward kind of bourbon. There's nothing that's really standing out on it. I don't think it's super high in proof. I wouldn't say that one is much more than, I don't know, maybe 100 proof. And I'll know a little bit more as I go back through and kind of test some of these things a little bit. But my initial thought is that's just kind of a straightforward, like a nice bourbon. There's nothing that's totally standing out to me. It's a little bit soft from the standpoint of it's what I'll get at times with like a Four Roses. Like for me, that's what pops into my mind is that there's some of those nice, like kind of floral, maybe even a little bit of a honey note. And I get that a little bit more as the finish kind of develops on this one, is that it kind of just starts to taste a little bit like a Four Roses for me on that. So, I mean, that would be kind of my initial guess. Probably a little bit of honey, caramel. Let me go back to that one more time. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's just something that in my mind gives the impression of Four Roses. I don't think it's really very high proof though. So I don't think this is any kind of like single barrel. It's nothing, I don't think, cast strength. If it is, it's probably a little bit of a lower proof is my guess. But yeah, we'll see. Good oils on it for the most part, but yeah, there's nothing that's totally standing out for me with number 2 that's jumping out. Not coming off of one. One was a little interesting. All right, let's go on to 3. Just looking at 3, it's got really, really nice color. I mean, that's like a really nice kind of deep amber copper type of color on this one. So I think you guys can probably see that. So, all right. Ooh, interesting. My first thought, like right away, is some kind of like a Texas whiskey. Like there's that like smoky funk to it. And it's something I got burned like one time with Jason when I was at his place last time, and I was I tasted I think it was an iron root, a pick or something that they did. Maybe it wasn't. I forget exactly what it was, but I had it ranked really high, really, really, really enjoyed it a lot. And it stood out really, really quite a bit to me. And I was struggling with what exactly it was, but now, yeah, there's definitely like some, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's almost like a smoke or even like a slight, like a peatiness to it. And as much as, and you guys are going to probably kill me for this, but there's a little bit of a like a smoked meat or some smokiness that's there on this one, but it's a lot of really like heavy oaks and char and yeah, a lot of smoke. There's a little bit of like a peat. I mean, that peatiness is kind of what's coming out to me on this one. So all right, let's see here. We got 3. So let's see, smoke. That oak is there. Man, there's something funky on this one. Whatever it is, there's something funky. It's not a standard or normal bourbon profile at all. So, all right, cheers, guys. Oh, if that doesn't have like peat or smoke or something in it, I don't know what that is, but shit, man, there's something really funky about that. I don't know if that's Texas. That it's got some, I don't know. It's either like a peat or something that they're, oh man. I don't even know. How to describe that. You know what, Sugar Kitty, as far as a Texas kind of funk, I don't know if it's a Texas. I don't know if it's a Texas funk. I mean, it is smoky. I mean, it is like smoked meats. I mean, it's like if I had to sell like a bourbon or something as a smoked ham hock, this is what I think I would have to sell. It's funky, smoky. I don't know if that's peat or what that is, but there's some smokiness that's on this thing. Man, I'm gonna have to cleanse the palate a little bit on this bad boy. That's a funky one. I have no idea. Yeah, Roy, campfire. I mean, it's kind of that, but I don't get like the thing for me on this is I struggle to get past like that initial like campfire. Yeah, it's like very much like a charcoal or something along those lines. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how you would describe this other than like smoked meat, smoke, char. It's peaty. Like that note that I get is something that's got a little bit of like a peaty aspect to it. So, yeah, it is. It is very like campfire, but for me, not with like all of the sweetness on this thing at all. Again, proof wise, I don't think it's dominating in proof so far. I don't think there's been much that's at or above that 100 proof point. And I don't even want to go back to 3. I don't know what it's going to do to the other 3. So I'm going to have to steer clear of that one for a little bit. I'm going to have to write down, that's straight funk right there. Yeah, if you like, here's what I'll say with that one. I mean, maybe it would be kind of cool with like maybe like a barbecued something to see how those two kind of play off of each other. Now, again, you've got kind of smoke on smoke, but maybe the the barbecued meats would bring out a little sweetness in that. I don't know. I don't know what the hell to do with that right there. That's a little bit that's a little funky to me. So all right, now we're getting back into the sweetness of things. So that one maybe Shawn put in there to really screw with me, and that did it. Oh, this is very that's kind of interesting. The very first thing, and again, I don't know if it's because I'm coming off of this and going to that, but I get like a nice almost like a bubble gum note on this on number 4. Oh, nice vanilla on that. I mean, hell, I think water might smell better coming off of 3. That was some funky stuff. Yeah, 3 is a little bit more of the nice caramels, like kind of more of like a fresh caramel note. What else is that? Yeah, that would be a good name for a whiskey, just straight funk. Like I think you could give that like on anything from Texas or whatever it may be, but yeah, so JG, you said like an apple bubble gum. I don't know, I can maybe even see a little bit of a citrus note in this. Yeah, it's a nice nose, I would say. Really kind of more of a classic bourbon note, that sweet, little bit of spice that's there. Again, I'm not getting blown away, at least on the nose and so far the palate with proof yet. And I haven't had anything. This is the first time before I went live. I hadn't had anything. So I don't really, I don't even have like a baseline. So nothing's coming across as super dominant right now. Man. Yeah, it's interesting what I get with that bubble gum. There's that sweetness, nice caramel note. All right, let's taste this. Cheers, guys. Yeah, I still get a little bit of that, a little bit more of that kind of bubble. Still, that bubble gum note is there. Nice spice on this one. Again, I don't think it's a high proof at all. Feel the funk, Z man. Yeah, really nice kind of caramel note on that as well. Hmm. Yeah, I'd say a little bit more, a little more of like maybe a coffee, maybe a little bit of like a coffee note on this one as well. That bubble gum was kind of up front. Nice spice. Like as it sits on the palate, there's a really nice spice and oak that's right on the mid palate on this one. Nice touch of oak that's there. A little bit drying, a little bit of dryness to it. Again, proof wise, I'm not getting blown away. If any of these are higher proof, they're definitely not drinking like super hot by any means. They're all fairly approachable so far. I mean, outside of like number 3 being completely off from what I've tasted so far, but yeah, 4 is nice. Yeah, there's almost like a salted caramel that's there on this one as well. Maybe even a little bit of a nuttiness. So the more I kind of get into this, the more I'm thinking maybe a Jim Beam. I'm not getting super heavy like I do with some of the Heaven Hill stuff, but Man, I hate to say it, but on 4, I also get a little bit of there's almost like a slight mineral note on it as well, a little bit. I don't think that this is a Tennessee whiskey, but I don't know. There's a little bit of on 4. There's a little bit of a little bit of a mineral note on that. All right, I'll write down maybe Tennessee whiskey on 4, but it has a slight mineral note on that. Not super dominant like you'll get with some of the Dickles and things like that, but you know, and again, I mean, it could be, you know, yeah, it'll be a little bit better as I go back through some of these things. So, all right, let's check out and see what's going on in the chat here. Give my palate a little bit of a rest here. Jeffrey Wack, how's it going, my man? Cheech, thanks for doing another wrench job. I appreciate it, buddy. Richie Z, my man, how's it going, buddy? Appreciate you as always. Who else we got here? Anybody else I missed before? Adriana. I think DC already put, if you haven't checked out her channel, check her out. Cheech has got a new channel, so check out Cheech. Cameron, I already said something before, so. All right. Man, yeah, 4 was a little bit different, I would say. There was a little bit of that mineral note. So, all right, let's go on to number 5 and see what we get here. Oh, all right. So, all right. So I'm going to get like number 6, like right away. Like the first thing I got was like this chocolate brownie note, which is a little bit interesting. Yeah, DC. So some of the Mattingly stuff can be very interesting. It's a little bit different depending on what it is. Because I mean, with all the different blends, you get really, really unique things. So that's one of the cool things you can do with Mattingly is create your own blend. So I mean, they vary like all over the place. I've had several of them, and they're all like very, very different. Some of them have got some crazy color. Like this is the House's Money. This was just the I mean, look at how dark that is, and it's actually that dark. I mean, it's like Coca-Cola dark. But again, that's a rye. It's really, really good. A lot of mint on that one, which is nice. Prefer more mint on a rye than I do dill. I'm not a fan of like Willets and things. That's not my thing. I'm not a fan of like pickles really. So yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a chocolate, a little bit of like a chocolate brownie or fudge or something like that. Yeah, this has a little bit of a funk on it too. Yeah, even a little bit of a smokiness on this too. This already so far, just kind of nosing this comes across that it has a little more proof to it. Not that it's like dominating or anything, but there's also like a little bit of like either a pastry or like a waffles, like a waffle, maybe even like some syrup on this one. Yeah, this has a lot more going so far on the nose. I mean, it's way different than like 3, of course, but in terms of what it's got going on, the nose is a little bit more developed on this one. So, all right, let's give this one a try. Cheers. Yeah, Cam, it does look like motor oil. It's dark. And yes, as Mike said, Mattingly is was first baseman for the Yankees. One of my favorite players growing up, actually, when I lived on the East Coast. So again, I think this is you're approaching that funky category. We're back into that whole little bit more of like a smokiness on this one too. Again, it's giving me that, like, my default on funkiness now just automatically goes towards, Texas. But sometimes what you get is with some of these distilleries that do some of these crazy funky either finishes or whatever it may be, it can really kind of throw you off at times. And I would say that this is another one of those like funky. Again, I would probably go as far as saying some kind of Texas whiskey or something that's maybe, I get a little bit of a youthfulness on this as well. So I don't know what the age is, but I'm not getting like age complexity. I'm getting a little bit more like youthful, like maybe a char in a smaller barrel. And maybe that's what 3 was as well. Sometimes you'll get these 25-gallon or 30-gallon barrels, whatever those small ones are. And they'll try to rapidly age these things, and it will apply a lot of oak and a lot of tannin and all of that, in it. And it'll come across as smoky, but it still never gets rid of that like youthful taste to it. I saw Sugar Kitty funky fish nets. Yeah, I mean, it's these funky things, man. I always struggle with these like off profile to me, because a lot of what I sip on is a way more standard. I don't get into a lot of the like really like funky things, or a lot of the Texas whiskeys, so to speak. Some of them I do. I mean, some I like, but I know what it is going into it. So, yeah, there's still that. It's a lot of caramel, but still some smoke and oak. Yeah, to that funkiness. Like, yeah, I just want to like go with like more of a youthful, like kind of Texas type of whiskey is kind of what my default would be on something like that. There's some nice lingering sweetness. There's still that like caramel, a little bit of like a fudginess, but with a little bit of that smoke and oak, but with a hint of that youth that's there on that. That'll be interesting to find out. I'm most interested in wanting to know what in the hell 3 is. Probably gonna need some more water before this thing's over. I haven't even gotten all the way through these things. So, all right, number 6. What do we have here? All right. So 6 is a little bit more so far, a little bit more back on to a little bit more of a standard bourbon profile. So again, you get a lot of those just classic oak and caramels, vanillas. Oh, that's there. Nice spice on this one. This one's giving me a little bit, maybe a little more proof here. Maybe the proofs have started to step up a little bit here. Yeah, 6 is nice. A little bit more of the just classic, a little bit more of that like kind of buttercream, maybe even a little bit of like a butterscotch note. Yeah, definitely. I think there's going to be a little more proof on this one. So, Mark Bond, how's it going, buddy? All right, let's give this one a try. Cheers. Yeah, so that's got a little bit of that's got a little proof on it there. So I don't know if it's a lot of proof. It's more coming off of some of these. So yeah, definitely really a lot of baking spice. Maybe a little bit of like a what is that? Yeah, not a lot of really nice vanillas on this one. This has a little bit more of a maybe a classic, a little bit more of like a classic, like kind of MGP-ish type of profile. Nice heat. Actually, you know what? Maybe we're even into some of these like 1792, some of the full proof. I don't know if it's quite 125 proof. Definitely higher proof. Great spice on this. Nice oak spice right in the mid to the back of the palate. Really nice oaks. Really great spice on it. Dark fruits. That cherry aspect is kind of coming out. You know what? I haven't had. Nah, I don't think this is. What's the proof? I haven't had it, but what's the proof? If anyone knows, on the new batch 15 Stag Junior. This is giving me a little bit more of a profile of something along those lines. That's kind of what this is. I don't know if it's quite that hot, but again, I don't know what the proof on the batch 15 is either. All right, you're gonna make me do math. Okay, so 65, 130, 130. Okay, yeah. So, man, I don't know if it's 130 or not. It's got some heat to it, but again, my palate could definitely be acclimated on this. So, it's got a lot of those characteristics. I mean, something like that, or like maybe an Elijah Craig barrel proof. There's a little bit of that richness and complexity that this one has. Nice oak. Maybe this has a little bit more age on this one. So I mean, my default, maybe this could be, and I haven't had this one yet either. Maybe this is either the Elijah Craig like A121. I haven't had it, but I think that's like right in that like 124, 125 proof range. You guys can let me know. I don't know what the A121 on the Elijah Craig barrel proof is either. So, yeah, I would say that's something with a little bit more like richness and kind of complexity. But not overly sweet. There's some nice oaks that are there. Yeah, a little bit more of those dark fruits, like kind of a chocolate leather notes. Yeah, this is very much in line with some of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs, but there's just not that sweetness that's there. But again, I'm not getting a lot of nutty characteristic. Okay, so thanks, Bobby. 123.6. Could it be that? It could be right around there. Only because I think I've going through 5 right away, that maybe that's just not going to drink quite as hot to me as it normally would maybe on its own. I think if I started off with that, it would have probably killed me tonight, only from the standpoint of I hadn't had anything leading up to this. So yeah, 6 so far I think is probably the richest and most like kind of complex, but we'll go back through these and see what we get. And then I'll kind of rank them and try to give a proof. Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, I like six. I like six quite a bit. All right. I'm reluctant to start out. Yeah, nice. Man, just a lot of like nice kind of chocolate and dark fruits. I'd be surprised if that wasn't like an Elijah Craig barrel proof of some sort. So that would be that'd be my guess. So so let's see. Proof wise, I'm gonna say that's probably I'm just gonna say 120 on that. Just because it gives me a little idea of what I'm up against. Yeah, that's nice. I like six. I like six quite a bit. There's a lot of those. If you're a you know true bourbon lover or whatever, there's those dark fruits, the caramels, the vanillas, nice spice, good oak. That's there on this one. Again, maybe that slight nuttiness on this one. Yeah, I'll say Elijah. I'll say maybe the new Elijah Craig barrel proof on that one, but there's definitely some proof on that one. So I'll say 120 proof, give or take. So all right, let's go back to number 5 here. 5 I thought was a pretty solid one too. So Christian Sack, hi from Minnesota. My neighbor on Wisconsin. Well, not to you, but Z-Man, fins up, baby. Jen and Cheech in here all at the same time. Family is representing tonight. I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody being in here. So I look at my thing. 100 people have decided that they want to watch this dipshit talk to a computer and taste whiskey, and I greatly appreciate all of you guys. So this is what makes it fun. I mean, it's why we kind of keep doing what we do. I mean, the community, as you guys all know, I mean, you're all part of it, and it's awesome. So I mean, I thank you guys. It'd be awesome if one day we can all finally meet, or whenever that time may be. I look forward to meeting hopefully everybody. So Chris, how's it going, buddy? Appreciate you jumping in. W. O'Neill, you the man. I don't know about that. I'll have to tell my wife you said that. I'll have to screenshot this one. She won't believe that, but that's okay. Oh yeah, there's just this on number 5 again, man. This is like that funkiness on this one. So I mean, 5 and 3 for me, like probably by default, with as funky as they will fall down my scale, just because it's not something that I gravitate to. But they may be great for other people if you want something different. It's all of that. So yes, Jeffrey, hopefully one of these days we can do like a meetup in Kentucky or something, and have a whole long weekend and meet people and do all that. I mean, this is really what it's all about, and why I kind of continue to do everything is that, I enjoy talking with people and meeting people and sharing whiskey and doing all those things, because I mean, there's no point in just trying to drink all these things that we have by ourselves. It's just not great. So Eric, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. All right. So let me go back to 5. So I'll stop with all the mushy stuff right now. Yeah, I don't know. 5 is funky. 3 and 5 for me are going to probably finish 5th and 6th, because they're goofy to me. But anyway, actually, you know what? Let me go back to 5 and try to figure out. I don't know what it is. All I would say is with this, it just comes across for me as there's a little bit of like there's a little bit of a youthfulness to it on this one. There's something that seems like that rapid aging where it's done too quickly. I don't know what this is. It's not my thing, and maybe it's something completely different, but I don't know, Kelsey. I mean, maybe this is some kind of Balcones or something. I don't have a lot of Texas whiskeys like that I've reviewed or really done any of that, because it's not something that fits like really my profile. I struggle sometimes with Texas whiskeys, just identifying that either that what am I gonna say? That like the heat, what it does to those whiskeys. I mean, they can be really good. I've had some interesting ones that give you like this Coca-Cola aspect on the sweetness side of it, but these so far are giving more of a smokiness or a rapid type of aging aspect. So 5, I have no idea what that is. I'll say some maybe Texas whiskey. I don't know what it is. Maybe it could be a Balcones or a Garrison Brothers or something along those lines, but I don't know what 5 is. So let's go back to number 4. Yeah, 4, maybe between 3 and 5. I mean, this maybe makes it again. Like, I think I had bubblegum. Yeah, I still get that darn bubblegum note on this one. So my favorite guy from Atlanta, or Georgia, I should say, Will Hendo Henderson. Hey, buddy, how's it going? No, we don't see a lot of Texas whiskey in southeastern Wisconsin. There's just not a lot of it. So, and Chris, I don't know. Are you in Wisconsin? If so, we'll have to do a little meetup or add you to the southeastern Wisconsin meetup group, which is me putting together people. But Amy Boehm, she puts together some really, really nice flights. When Kleiner and I did ours, we were all over the place, but she put some nice ones together. I remember how good that the Blanton's Gold was. It really stood out a lot. Oh, Beloit. Okay. All right. That's awesome. You're not that far from me. So cool. You'll have to send me an email. Anybody who wants to participate in any kind of possible summer meetups or anything, I try to have 1 or 2 nice meetups every year at my place. We get a bunch of bourbons and all that, shoot the shit. If you want to stay over, you're more than welcome to stay over. But I like to, get a couple of these things together. So if anyone wants to get added to the list, just shoot me an email, mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com. So, and I'll be happy to send you something for when we do those things. So yes, Trev, you're not that far. You can make the drive north a little bit. Oh yeah, okay. So Geneva, all right, the Rupp, you're not very far either. So if you guys want to send me an email, feel free to do so. I'll add you to the list or whatever it may be. Yeah, 4 much more classic bourbon notes on that for sure. Thanks, Richie. What am I at? 119? All right, cool. I'll take that. I appreciate that. Now it's more than 100 people who want to watch this dipshit stare at a camera and sip whiskey. So, hey, I appreciate it. Brandon W., how's it going, buddy? Yeah, 4 is much more classic. I mean, coming off of 3 and 5, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this could be anything, but I'm trying to figure out what it is that I've gotten bubblegum notes off of before. It's not very much, but I don't think I had 4 as this was the one I thought was maybe like a Tennessee whiskey. That's what I have written down. There's still that slight mineral note on 4 that I get. It's not super heavy or anything, but yeah. Come on, Kerber. I don't have I don't have an OnlyFans page, that's for sure. So not yet anyway. That's bad. Not ever. It'll never be. So all right. I don't even I'm just gonna to Sean. I'm just gonna skip 3 because I don't even want that thing like in my mouth anymore. So and all right, that probably didn't come out the greatest, but number 3, I don't want to sip on number 3 anymore. So that's just it's gonna fuck up 2 and 1. So Bobby, you're more than welcome. Drive to Wisconsin. So southeastern Wisconsin. I'm just outside Milwaukee. So if there's anyone close, hit me up. I'm hopefully this summer when all this shit kind of starts to get behind us, we can have a little meetup, whether it's at my place. I've got a good space out back, so it always works out. It always works out well. So Slade Gullidge, there we go, buddy. Another ATL guy, or Georgia, I should say. All right, let's go to number 2. So I think this was the one I thought was maybe. Oh, that's not Four Roses. I had it written down. There's just like a strong like green apple. Like I'm more inclined to say Buffalo Trace, to be honest. That green apple kind of note on this. Oh man. Yep, Sean, I know you're another Georgia guy. A lot of Georgia guys representing. I always like when it gets to be like 40 or 50 and you guys are freezing. 40 or 50 for us. Like right now, we had a day last week that was like 45. I was sitting outside, t-shirt and jeans, sitting there smoking a good cigar from these guys right here. If you're not familiar, go check them out, cigarclub.com. My favorite cigar club for sure. They do great things and they're great dudes. That's one of the things that probably kind of just keeps me super involved with them is that Dave and Griff do a fantastic job. They're very involved in the community and all of that. So they do an absolutely fantastic job. And I'm sure between me and the Bourbon Junkies, you guys see a fair amount of cigarclub.com stuff. Alec and Bradley, Alec Rubin, great dude as well. So, all right, let me try this one again. Not a lot of proof. I don't know. I'm going to stick with some kind of like Buffalo Trace, or maybe there's even it's a little bit of a youthful note on that too. So 2, I'm a little bit. There's just that green apple aspect to it. Brandon W, Green Bay. All right, not too far. Once in a while, I get up there for work. And definitely pass through there going to Door County that we try to visit a few times a year. So a couple little honey holes up there in Door County. So yeah, Adriana, I'm actually not a Packers fan. I'm a Dolphins fan. So lifelong Dolphins fan. I know that seems strange coming from a guy in Wisconsin, but Gray Eagle, Minnesota. I have no idea. Like every time I think of Minnesota, I just feel like everyone lives way up north in Minnesota. I don't know why, and I don't know where Gray Eagle is. So, Christian, where is that? How far from like the cities are you? Also, no. Okay, there we go. Oh, Panthers. Okay. All right. I'm good with that. I don't dislike the Packers, but it's just not my team. So yeah, I grew up a Dolphins fan. I lived in Florida for a bunch of years. So that's how I became a Dolphins fan. So Mike Meyer, Rosemont, Minnesota. A lot of Minnesota guys, a lot of Georgia guys. Who else is that? Let me see. Everybody put else where you guys are all from. So Chattanooga. Hey, Whiskey Samurai, you got a really nice distillery right there in your backyard. So Chattanooga is doing some incredible things. Lava Man, Denver, has had some friends move to just a little bit north of Denver. So Bourbon, New York. Was born in New York, way upstate, but Messina, New York is where I was. Go Dogs. Nah. Miami. All right. I can deal with that. So Alec, I'm sure, is maybe if you're a football fan, hopefully a Toronto. Donald, my wife is a Canadian. She is born in just outside Toronto. Bourbon Bunnies, PA. Neil, how's it going, my man? Kalamazoo, Michigan. Used to go to a couple baseball games in Kalamazoo. I think it was the minor league baseball team. Spokane, Washington, John T, my man. What else we got here? Nashville, John P. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. Toronto. Yeah, Donald, I always mess with I know, Tim, you're in Chicago. You're not far. You'll definitely have to get up here this summer, hopefully. Z-Man, Arizona. How the hell did you end up being a Dolphins fan? So you got a Wisconsin guy coming your way, though, Mr. J.J. Watt. Cheech, Florida. It's the best part of this. I'm sitting here on a cold evening in the state of Wisconsin, and there's people from all over the country. Jared, California. Tim, you're more than welcome anytime, buddy. Jason Young, you are from a good state. I will be down there in a couple weeks. Jason and I are going to be doing a pick at an undisclosed location. I don't know, maybe he said something, but I don't know if he said anything yet, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut right now. So South Carolina, now Utah. All right, good to know. And Puerto Rico, geez, Adriana, you definitely get around. That's for sure. In that way, in the Karen, I know you just got to Nashville, so hopefully the move has finally gone well. I know you've said you have friends here in Wisconsin as well, so yeah, hopefully you guys have learned to not take me too serious. I know when I do the reviews, it comes across as a little bit serious, but if you truly know me or get to know me, you'll realize I'm pretty much a smart ass most of the time, which gets me into a lot of trouble with the wife. So, but yeah, it's no, Adriana, it didn't come across. It didn't come out right. I don't know you, but I love you. I apologize. The last thing I want to do is offend anybody. So that's for sure. So, my man, Ty Weber, another guy not too far. No, I feel so bad. The last thing I want to ever do is offend anybody. That's never my intention. So, I know Richie, you're out in Cali. That's for sure. I know that. Yeah, you got a friend out in Wisconsin. His name starts with an S. Yeah, I've heard that guy. He's a bit of a douche, but whatever. So David Hatton. Yeah, David, he's from Hooligan. So I've never heard of Hooligan before. No, that's fine. I am. I'm a bit of a ball buster, smart ass, all of those kind of things. So if anybody ever gets up here and we have a good time, I mean, hey, I love to have a good time just as much as anybody else. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. I know with everybody being all over the place, but I'm hoping to God at some point, we can put something together. And, what I'd like to try to do is get a distillery to kind of back some of the thing, bring people in from places, and then have like a nice tasting and stuff all set up at a distillery or, with a brand or something like that. Maybe get like Old Carter or Foregate, some of those guys to kind of either host something or have something set up. So there's a little bit of kind of chatter going on that I'm kind of working on. So hopefully we'll be able to put something together and just get to meet a bunch of people. So All right, so let me go back to, I got off on a little tangent there, so sorry about that. All right, let's do this. I'm going to go back through them really quickly. I don't think one's got, maybe one is maybe 100 proof. 2 I thought was 1 and 2 are kind of similar. Yeah, 1 and 2 are very, very similar. I mean, like I'm inclined to say like Buffalo Trace, but there's sometimes that like green apple that really kind of throws me off because I get a lot of green apple on Buffalo Trace stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Who said something about Cedar Ridge? JG, yeah. So that would be something I would like to get down to check out. Cedar Ridge Distillery. That single malt that they did, the quintessential, I think they did a really, really nice job. If they would release that thing at cast strength, I think that could be an absolute fantastic whiskey. But Fort Mill, I'm not exactly sure. Okay, maybe I missed something clearly, but all right. So I think 1 is maybe 100 proof. 2, I have kind of the same thing. Like 1 and 2 are very Buffalo Trace. 3, I have no idea what 3 is. I'm going to say some kind of Texas whiskey of some sort. Maybe Balcones or something like that, I'll say. I don't think it's like an iron root because sometimes with iron root, I get a little bit more sweetness on it. And this thing, man, that is just straight up. It's just straight smoke. I mean, I smell it and it's just, it is funky. So not that it's bad, it's different. So I never want to say anything is bad. It's just different. So 4. Thanks, Two Wheels. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. The wheels down. I don't know. Maybe this is Swami. He's always got. Oh yeah, it is Swami. He's got his 2. You gave me my $5 back. Thanks, you, the angry Canadian. It comes through. So we're just gonna swap $5 every time. So I appreciate it. 2. All right, so let's do this. So what the hell was that one again? 5. All right, so let's do this. So I've got numbers. I've got the key right here. So here's the key. All right, I haven't opened that one. So let's do this. I'm gonna go in reverse order. So we'll go 6 through 1. I'll tell the one that I liked the least, and see what we end up with. So actually, you know what? Let me do the proof on these things first. So then we'll figure that part out. I thought 6 had, okay, I had 6 at about 120 proof. 5, I don't know what the hell 5. Five's got a little bit of proof. We'll say 110 on that. I think that's probably right around there. 4. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Funk free. It's always good. It's just like when you get those Texas or the funky things, they can throw some stuff off a little bit. So, but I mean, it's all good. I love to be able to, try different things. And that's the best part. I mean, doing these things blind, you have no idea what in the world any of this stuff is. So it's always fun to try a couple of different things. So yeah. And 4 was, when I was 4. Yeah. 4 was, again, a little bit of that, Yeah, we do, Jason. I said that before. So when I was at your place, I'm like locked into Texas whiskey a little bit, or that funkiness, whatever it is. So I was saying before, so yeah, Jason and I were actually, myself, my wife, Jason, his girlfriend, next week, middle to the end of next week and weekend, we're going to be down in Kentucky doing a couple picks. So that should be a lot of fun. So we've got some good stuff. Patrons already kind of know a little something else, fun stuff. So like I said before, if you're not already a patron, whether it's you want to support our channels or whatever it may be, get in there if you want our picks, because I think they're going to start going fairly quick once we do these things. I mean, Jason and I, we've got fortunately very similar palates. We want to give you guys the best possible thing that we can. We're having fun with it, and that's our most important thing is that we want to share it with the people that want it, and then we want to be able to share it with you guys. So once we do the picks and they get released and get out to everybody, we'll do some live streams where we get people, kind of involved in not only the tasting part, but also helping us to eventually pick the barrels. So that'll be a little bit of a perk. So again, if you're part of the Patreon community for either one of us, it'll get you into, the running for not only the bottles, but eventually being able to, sit down with us and do some picking. So it'll be an awful lot of fun. So we're going to try to make it as interactive as possible. So, all right, enough yapping, and let's get to ranking. So, all right, so let's go here. I've got the key here, so I'm going to go. So let's see, 6, 5. I think this was that 6. Okay, so 6 will be my number 1. It's 2. Yeah, these 3 here, like number 6 for me stood out as the most complex, the most rich, the nicest kind of well put together, bourbon. These 3 here probably could have gone in a little bit of an order, and then these 2 are like kind of funk masters. They go in their own category. So, all right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and unveil the results of what in the world these things are. So, actually, did I? Yeah, okay. I'll leave those other ones there. I thought for a second I mixed them up, but I didn't. So I didn't get any butter pecan tonight, or pecan. Okay. So let's go with so my last place is number 3. All right, so this is, all right, so this is an ASW. So I've had, okay, so, all right, so 3 is ASW. So this is out of, again, Georgia. So this is going to be local for Shawn. And I had like their fiddler, like I love, so Hendo, you guys know, all you guys from Georgia know, I really, really dig the fiddler, which is, oh man, what is that one? Oh, I forget which one that one was, but so this is a copper pot. So, okay, so here maybe where some of the funkiness comes from. And that's a rye, hey? Man, I just could not get past all of that smoke. What did I have? Number 3. I had 100 proof. What is that? Oh, 104.2. So, all right. So fairly close on that one. So three was my 6th place. 5th place was number 5. Again, another Moonrise, Georgia single barrel, 120 proof. I had 110. I had 110 proof. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just whatever it is that they're doing. And again, I don't know, Shawn, is this something or whatever you guys, in Georgia know? Like, what are this Moonrise? I've never even heard of it before. Georgia single barrel, 60 barrel, so 120 proof. Yeah, it's very smoky. Maybe even like nutty from the stand of like if you're at like a grill, like an outdoor grill, and they're smoking wood or they're smoking meats or something, the smoke that comes off of that is kind of what I got with a little bit of both of those. So, all right, so those are both okay, yeah. So Hendo, that was the Georgia Heartwood. So I really liked excuse me. I really liked the Georgia Heartwood. That was a single barrel. That was really, really good. So that was a fantastic one. So, all right. So in 4th place is number 4, Widow Jane, Lucky 13. I've had some Widow Jane before, but I think the only one that I've really had of the Widow Jane, and number 4, man, yeah, I had it as some kind of Tennessee whiskey. There's some like mineral note on that one. So that was, again, number 4. Make sure I got my right ones here. Yeah, Widow Jane, Lucky 13, 93 proof. What did I have? I had between 95 and 100, so pretty close on that one. So, all right. So my 3rd place is number 2, High West Rendezvous Rye. Interesting. 91 proof. Yeah, I didn't have it. And let's see, what did I have as that? Number 2. I said 100 proof, but I had minus 100, so I could be less than 100 proof too. So boy, that didn't come across totally as a rye at all. So interesting. Maybe that was where that finishing aspect kind of came into play on that. All right. So, and number 2, my 2nd place is number 1 was the Smooth Ambler. Number 1. Yeah. So I had MGP. So I kind of nailed that one. That green apple, oak, caramel. I said 100 proof. What is this? 100. Oh, geez, 111. That's 111 proof. Interesting. Yeah, nice rye. Yeah, a little bit of mint there. Now that you kind of like sit back and think about it a little bit. So, all right, number 1. My number 1 is, all right, I kind of had it. So I hadn't had it, but the profile of it was very much kind of on point a little bit in terms of what you got. So number 6 was my number 1, which was the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A121. It partially had 120 proof, 123.6. So the complexity of it was you could tell that it just had like that richness. It had a very much like an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, or that maybe not quite a Stag Junior kind of pro. It didn't drink that hot, so that was what kind of led me to thinking that this was more of that A121. Actually, you know what? Let me go back to that, because I haven't had, and from just watching some other reviews, some people said that 121 was a little bit more off profile. Now, with what it was here, it stood out like significantly just because of its like overall complexity. Just, you knew that this thing had some age. Yeah, I had 120 proof. You know, again, it's those strong like bourbon characteristics that Elijah Craig always has. It's not, I didn't get a lot of the nuttiness on this one. Man, I don't know. It's just really easy. It's really easy to drink. That's what I'll say with this one. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I like it from the standpoint of just the richness. I mean, again, you can never. I would say we kind of like, you know, we split hairs a lot of times on all the batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but at the end of the day, for 65-ish, I'll say between 65 and 75 seems to be where it kind of lands most of the time. It's a really, really good bourbon. And it stood out amongst all of these because these were a couple of funky ones. And the ryes weren't drinking totally like rye. Now that I go back to it a little bit, what do we have here? This was number one. So this was, number one was the Smooth Amber, the Old Scout single barrel rye. Yeah, that mint is probably showing up a little bit more now. Yeah, damn, I'm kind of kicking myself for not kind of pulling that out. It really does have more of a rye profile. It's nice, though. And I like a lot of times, so I'm assuming that this is still the MGP stuff. I don't know what the ages are on these, but I'm a fan of MGP's like 95.5 mash bill. So I think that's is probably what these are in a single barrel. So you're always going to get something a little bit more different and unique. So I think now pulling this thing out number one, man, I had to get in that like rye mindset. I just never got on that track. What was he say? Whiskey Samurai, how does the A121 versus the 120? You know, I don't know. I think they're like all good. This one just seemed to be much more, I'll say, like approachable. It's got the complexity that's there, but it's definitely not as good as like the B and C batches from, so B520 and the C920. It's definitely not on that level. And I'm guessing that those two would have probably really stood out even amongst the A121. It drank about 120 proof. It didn't drink like overly crazy, but it was still very good. So there you have it. Let's see what we got here. Shawn, thank you so much. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for putting this whole flight together. It's always fun to go through some of these things and see how they kind of all shake out. So yeah, so Will said a little bit fruity. Yeah, it's just a little bit softer. There's not the overall like dominance, the oak and the vanillas and the caramels and you know, the leathers and tobaccos that you would, I would say, typically get with a lot of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. This one definitely drank much more approachable. So Christian Sack, does oxidation help calm a whiskey? I mean, yeah, I would say it not only can do that, especially if it's super hot and a lot of like heavy alcohols, by allowing the thing to open up, you know, it can allow some of that to dissipate. and it can do the reverse as well, where it will actually help a whiskey kind of open up and really kind of shine. Like a lot of times with toasted barrel things, I think toasted barrel whiskeys need time. I think they need to open up a little bit. A lot of people will say with the Elijah Craig toasted barrel that they don't like it, which I get. But I think if you let that thing like open up, or toasted stuff in general, give it some time, a few weeks if you can, and go back. A lot of times they really, really round out, really, really nicely. So, yeah, it's a sweet oak. It's much sweeter, just way more approachable than I would say than any of them. So my rye journey. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, for me, the Elijah Craig barrel proof, I mean, it stood out significantly amongst, these, that were here. I mean, 5 and 6 were on the funk side of things. It was kind of crazy, but what was what do we have here? 4, I remember. 4 was kind of interesting too. That was the Widow Jane. So the only one I've had is that 10-year that they had. Yeah, not bad. And then I had the other 2 ryes, I think, ranked fairly high as well. Going back to them now, you can see where the mint really kind of starts to shine on both of these. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of proof. Yeah, number 1, like right away, did not drink like that Smooth Ambler Old Scout single barrel. It did not drink like 111 proof at all. What was number 1? Yeah, I had number 1 as number 2. So interesting. So there we have it. So thank you everybody for joining tonight. Shawn, thank you so much for putting together tonight's flight. Always fun to do these things and be able to sit here and kind of have a good time with all of you guys. So thank you so much for kind of tuning in, watching. I greatly appreciate all of you guys and your support. Remember, if you want to get into the barrel pick part of things, make sure thanks, Cheech. Make sure you're, supporting the channels. Become a Patreon. It's more than just supporting the channels. It gives you some benefits, gets you in on what it is that Jason and I have going on, and we're trying to bring you guys some absolutely great whiskeys. He and I, we're not going to shortcut anything. So we're going to try to bring you guys the best of whatever it is that we're able to, and it's going to range from all over the place. So we're working on some really fun things. Thanks, Roy. I appreciate that. We've got some really fun things going on. So, if you want to be part of, Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, become a Patreon, and I don't think you'll regret it. So, he and I, we try to bring you as much of, good content as we possibly can, communicate with you guys as the whiskey community and involve you. That will be the main thing for us, is that as we get into, doing more of these picks, once we start getting samples, we'll be really involving you guys so that you'll have a little bit of, an impact or something that involves in choosing the barrels that we're choosing. So we're going to try to make it as fun, entertaining, all of that. It's part of what the whiskey community is really all about. So, thank you, so much for everyone's support. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, so, if you want to be part of all of that, it's fairly inexpensive. To be a patron, it's the cup of the price of a cup of coffee or something like that. So it doesn't take much, but what we're going to do, just to kind of go over that a little bit, is going forward, because of some of the picks that we've got going on, we're going to try to allow the people who contribute the most to the channels that we think is the fairest way of doing this is to then give the option to them and then work our way down in the tiers. And then hopefully everybody within the Patreon community will have an opportunity to get a bottle. So that's our goal, is that we really wanted to be able to share these with you guys as our supporters and really kind of just involve you and share all of that with you guys. So with that being said, I'll stop rambling. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for all of your support. Next week, I have no idea what I've got going on, but we'll figure something out. It'll be a couple days prior to heading to Kentucky to do a pick. So Jason and I will be down there for a few days doing some fun stuff. So we'll probably try to maybe pop in once or twice through maybe a quick little live if we can with the wives or something along those lines. So, but we're gonna try to do some fun stuff for you guys. So we're hoping to see more of you in the community and just kind of build this whole thing. Mash and Journey, we're doing it for you guys, so we appreciate it. So thanks, W. O'Neill. So you can check if you like one of the hats, you can check. I got a link in the description below if you dig the hat. So, but thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I greatly appreciate all of your support. I love the community. I can't say thank you enough to all of you guys. So I greatly appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. And Shawn, thanks for putting the flight together tonight. It was a lot of fun. I mean, we went through a lot of different kind of funky things. So that's for sure. So JG, thanks. Really all of you guys. I mean, the whiskey community, it's just you guys and ladies are all a fantastic group of people, and it's the reason why we continue to do these things. We see a lot of the same people every week, new people, all of that, so we love it. So keep supporting not only myself, everybody else who does reviews, anything along those lines. We all greatly appreciate it. But more importantly, we appreciate you guys just being there, watching our videos, all of that kind of stuff. So with that being said, thank you again so much for tuning in tonight. And remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. And if you remember that, you'll stay true to yourself. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Cheers, guys.